Hey, what's up, man? This is the Teachers Only Podcast. What's your boy Eddie B coming to you, man? You know what it is. We give y'all a safe space to talk about stuff that you really want to talk about. You know you can't say on campus because you know what's gonna happen to you. Your boy is back on the podcast scene. Yeah, I know they mad at this, but it don't even matter. Today I have a special guest. You may have seen her on social media. She broke onto the scene. Hey, look, you gotta be funny, and talk the truth for me to follow you. She jumped on the education scene. I don't know how long you've been teaching. We're gonna find it out right now, though. Okay. And talking about, I'm talking about she wasn't taking no prisoners. She was being loud and proud about it. And Miss, let's talk about it. Let's make it make sense. Everybody, please welcome Talkin Tia to the Teachers Only Comedy Podcast. Your boy ADB. What's up? How you feeling, man?
I feel good. I can't complain. I'm blessed.
Well, before you tell me anything else, you know what we got to do. I don't know if you got a cup over there or something. Got to pose a toast for life, being an educator, and speaking without no filter. Okay. And hopefully one day we won't get in trouble for it. Yeah. Hey, that's an open invite toast. If you watching, you should have took you a drink too. But anyway, where you from? When did you get started teaching?
So I'm from Newport News, Virginia. Yeah, aka bad news. I started teaching in 2011. My first year out of college, I was a long-term sub, 8th grade English. The teacher had quit, and my old teacher ended up being a principal. She was like, "I need you," so I said, "Okay, let me just try it out," because I went to school to be a journalist. And then I was like, "Okay, I'm good at this." Okay, I was whipping kids in shape. Okay. And I kept doing it. So I've been doing it now for about 9 years.
9 years. Mm-hmm. And what subject? What subject? Did you teach the same subject all 9 years, or they switch you around?
ELA and English. So, middle school's ELA, high school's English. And then I did, while I was pregnant, did like one-on-one. I would never do that again, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What is one-on-one? Because a lot of times it may be some different terminology for other states. Like you talking about one-on-one, like one kid.
Yep. You have one kid.
Almost like life skills or SPED or something like that, or you just focus on.
It's usually SPED, or they have an IP or 504. It's usually behavior. So you follow them around all day to every class. You just there to make sure they don't get out of control. Basically, you're a facilitator.
You're a chaperone.
Yeah, exactly.
And a bodyguard and what is it? A peace officer.
Right.
Yeah. You're doing everything but that. If they're a behavior problem, they got to have somebody. I never heard of that before, and all my youth teachers never heard of it. And I've been out the game, but game ain't changed too much. They just changed the terminology, but the same thing. It's the same thing. On to something like a little bit more personal for you. Everybody got their story about how they got into teaching, what made them get into teaching. Me personally, hell, it was just better than working at a car wash. And I'm not lying. That ain't no joke. I'm one of them ones who didn't want to teach. But, in the process, I found stuff that I liked about teaching. Yeah, that's just what it is. You're going to find something you kind of like about it. Right. Although it may be kind of, it's enough to keep you, kind of engaged a little bit. Yeah. What was your reason? Like, what or who made you want to teach, or how did you get into teaching? Was it something you wanted to do, or were you inspired by somebody else?
So I graduated college from Johnson C. Smith University in Charlotte in 2010. And at that time, you really couldn't get a job. Everybody, I guess we were like in the middle of the recession, coming towards the end of it. So none of us really could get jobs. And then coming out, it's like, oh, you need 10 years of experience. And you're like, well, I don't have 10 years of experience, especially in the news industry. They wanted all of this experience. So I just was like, I'm a sub and see what happens. And I became a long-term sub. I did that for a year. And these kids, their teacher had quit in the middle of the year.
Why?
Yeah, they were bad. When I got there, they were writing markers and highlighters.
You better not say that. You can't say kids is bad. They said no.
Listen, now I can say whatever.
We're gonna get to that. You just, I got you.
So, they returned. So I was like, okay, let me go in here. I was scared because I was 22 at the time, but I just hit it off the park. It was crazy. It was almost like that was my calling. 99% of my kids have passed the reading and writing SOL that year. So I was like, okay, you passed the state test. I'm good. Then I also had a guidance counselor from high school who mentored me, who basically helped me stay on the straight and narrow. Because I was a kid, I used to wreak havoc. I've always had a mouth, like always got in trouble. My teacher would be like, whatever Martia does, everybody else in the class is gonna do. And I used to think like that's a teacher problem. That's not a that's not my mom's problem. That's your problem that you can't control your class. So, long story short, I just ended up being really good and building relationships, and I stayed with it. Um, and I try to be for kids what my schools were for me because they didn't play that. If we cursed, we got 3 days. We fought, we got 10 days. If you watched the fight, you got 5 days. So I don't know where the tide turns. So I still try to be that for my kids. Like play with your mom and don't play with me. That's my
Hey, play with your
motto.
words to live by. Play, but you gotta whisper that in the ear. Hey, come here. Play with your mom.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
whisper that. Yeah, yeah. The cameras can't hear nothing. We can't hear
yeah.
that no whisper. Yeah. So you say you've been teaching for 9 years,
Mhm.
right? And that means that 9 years ago you got your first teaching job, right?
Yep.
And you just in the game. You still in the game. You still in the game.
Yeah, I'm still
Yeah, speak that. You still in the game. Um, I'm not sure how much you remember about your first year teaching, but I can guarantee you something has changed.
yeah.
Like since your first year teaching, like what things have changed that you've seen that changed from I'm talking about it can be anything from the where the
Mhm.
kids at, parents,
Yeah.
the way teachers are handled,
Right.
period. From your first year teaching to your ninth year. What changes did you see?
Everything. Attendance,
Mm.
kids don't come to school. Like we didn't have, I don't remember having a choice. My kids showed up. That first year teaching that had to be 2011. Kids, sometimes I would be like, please don't let so and so come to school today, and they would be there. Now they don't come to school. The grading, it's almost like why am I teaching if I have to pass everybody anyway? Like make it make sense. So attendance, grades, consequences for behaviors, the way parents act. Parents come to school and fight because they got to pick up their child who just got in a fight, and it's like what in the world? Parent involvement. A lot of parents. Back then I felt like I could call home, I could send a letter. Now when I call, almost every parent says, well, they out of control. I can't control them. You figure it out. Do what you got to do. And I'm thinking maybe because I taught older kids this year, 17, 18, I don't know. But I feel like everything, the way they act on the bus, the way they come to school dressed. I don't know if it's a school or a nightclub. The lunch, even lunch is terrible. I don't, the Obamas trying to make it healthy. Kids kids are not eating that. They're going home in lifts and Ubers. How they act at sporting events. Now 4 days off the week this year, we had canine dogs and police officers. 4 days, yes, out the week. So I feel like everything has changed. Because I think I was in ninth grade when Columbine happened. So that was like
Hmm. We
major.
all remember that
Mhm.
one, man. That was like big for us because nothing like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happened before, but Columbine they really made into this national
Mhm.
thing, and we was all paying attention to that.
Right.
But it's so much more common now.
Oh,
Yeah, like that. We never had to do shelter in place or do live active shooter drills in school back when Columbine. Even after Columbine, we
right. We
didn't have
still
that.
did.
They just
Yep.
toughed it out. But now it's like mandatory. And
Mhm.
real quick, let's pivot from that. Just talk about where you at. Newport News.
Yeah.
Man, Newport News,
Mhm.
Virginia, man. There's some good stuff that done came out of Newport News. Don't get it
Yes.
twisted. There's some athletes that came out of Newport News. Yeah, you got some professionals for sure. But far as the education and teaching landscape lately, I say last few years, Newport News been on the news, right?
Right.
For real. Because the big thing was the first grade,
Yeah.
brought a gun to school and the teacher had already, was already saying, hey, this boy tripping. Y'all need to do something about him.
Yup.
He coming in, he's saying so everything was documented and everything, right? And
Because
then he still was able to bring the little old situation in after he got searched. He got searched for this though. So I tell a joke on stage like they really try to mess with teachers about the things that we do to take the edge off. And I talk about, hey man, do what you got to do to maintain. And I say, man, teachers are getting caught for stuff now that we've been doing. Like, yeah. So, but they'll go far to find alcohol on the teacher, but they can't find a gun on a first grader. You know how little his clothes is? He ain't.
So,
You tell me, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about that?
So, that they what's crazy is I worked in that district 22, 23 school year.
Okay. Not too long. That was
right. So
you were there when it happened.
Right. So the video that made me viral was skipping. There was a sound where everybody was in it was a flip-flop sound, and everybody was like, on my way to get my DoorDash, on my way. But I used it, I was skipping down the hall. And I was like on my way to class, knowing they don't have a plan to protect teachers or students. This was literally that following Monday. And it was like a kid did not just harm his teacher. We went back to class like regular. There was no extra security. It was just like a regular day. No moment of silence for her, nothing. They even wanted her to use workman's comp, saying that being shot is a part of our job. So that whole situation was just like
a hazard or something. What did they call that though? Is this I don't know what they call it. Like basically it was a part of I don't know. It was part of the job that it can happen to you. So, it's like you knew what you signed up for. Ain't nobody signed up to get shot in the chest by a baby, man.
And I think he had it on him, and they searched the book bag and not him. And that's where it went astray. Because I actually grew up with the principal of that school.
Okay.
We went to church together. Our moms were good friends.
Yeah.
So
she took some heat for that.
Yeah, I kind of strayed away. I had seen her; she didn't speak to me. But at that time, I had only talked about the fact that public schools are always trying to accept kids we can't service. The rule was that he had to show up with a parent every day, and this particular day,
nobody
came. But why are we servicing kids that need parents to sit in class with them? That's not a public school kid.
This is not the type of school for him. He need to be an alternative school where people can watch him, or other kids just as bad as he is. Yeah, and them, you know what? And they ain't gonna test them. Them bad kids don't test other bad kids.
No,
Hey, my first job was at alternative school. Let me tell you, they talk about thrown into the fire. I was not a teacher. I was a probation officer. You know what I'm saying? They came in my classroom. They loved me because I had what you call a controlled environment.
Exactly.
That means they were shutting up and wasn't hitting each other. They loved it. They didn't care. There wasn't no teaching going on. Right. There wasn't no rehabilitation for them kids. Matter of fact, they treat them like they in jail. Because when they go to alternative, program, they walk through metal detectors. They got to search. They strip search them almost. And my kids used to sneak gum in. Right? And they gonna say, hey, Mr. Brown, I want some gum. I got it in. I say, look, I'm good. I know where that came from. You know what I'm saying?
Listen.
That came from a crevice. That's where that came from. If they got it in there, I used to let them. Man, I say, if you got it in here, go and chew your gum. Just don't bother nobody, man. You had to be cool like that.
Yeah. No, you did. You still do. So we have canines, metal detectors, where the 6-year-old hurt the teacher in Newport News. They have clear book bags. They have IDs where they got to scan in. They scan it on the bus. But they, like you said, my students still had lighters, vapes. And I was like, well, what's security doing?
New thing, yeah.
And security, I made a video about security and they got upset. But they're part of the problem. When I'm looking for a kid who's skipping, who went to the bathroom and gone for 30 minutes, when I come out, they laughing in the hallway with security.
So a stick in the pack of dogs. The one that barked the loudest is the one that got hit. Yeah, man. The one that when I first started doing the videos or whatever, man. Yeah, they was quietly hating. Luckily, I had a principal that understood, and the leader, I guess some people call superintendent. Well, I
Okay.
worked at like a public charter my last year, so they was called a director. But the
Yeah.
director, she loved me. She loved me, and watch this. In one of my videos, the director commented on one of them. Right? Oh my God, this is too funny. That's what she put. So when I had one of the haters, it was one of those ones who was in the classroom before, and then the next year they probably had some decent scores, and they think
Right.
they can teach other teachers, so they make them academic coaches, right? I don't know
Right.
what they call it now, but it's the one who taught before. Now they're over getting other teachers' scores up.
Right.
And like, some people just, what worked for you may not work for somebody else though. But it was a dude, he was just hating on me quietly, telling me, so I had to stop shooting on camp. They say don't shoot with the
Yeah.
logo. If you see my older videos, you'll see me with my hand over my chest, covering up the logo. Then they say, oh, don't shoot in the classroom.
Oh,
Then I start shooting in the hallway. They say, don't shoot at the school. So
crazy.
I start shooting in the coach's office after school. He at his desk. I'm shooting. And the first time I did it, he bust out laughing. I was like, hey, you gotta try not to laugh.
Right.
So I'm against a wall, but you do what you have to do to get the
Right.
message across. But in
Seriously.
my situation, I just so happen to have a principal who like cut for me because I did so much at the school, and I showed her evidence that the director loved me. And
Right.
somebody was like, no, she can't like that. I show her the actual. She said, no, I understand what you're talking about, but you okay with me, but it's always good to have evidence. Right.
Right.
With that being said, I started shooting my videos. It just happened like that. I didn't think people cared about what we went through in education. I was just a club comic, a night comic, and teaching at the same time, hoping something would take over. Hopefully, it was comedy, not teaching.
Yeah.
I could teach. I ain't gonna lie to you. 10 years in the game, it was bad. Then came back and did up to 13. Um, but when I came back, the video started for me, and I went through all that stuff, and I know what I had to go through. And my inspiration, it really wasn't. I was just tired. I was out of ideas. And no lie, I asked God, I said, "God, I need some ideas, man. God bless me with some ideas." I ain't never asked that before, but I ain't think none of it. Next day, he gave me an idea to shoot something for teachers. And I didn't think nobody cared, but that's what made everything take off. So, with that being said, you in that lane, right?
Yeah.
That's some boldness to speak out amongst the masses about stuff that's happening where you work at, knowing that you got people who work with you. I'm talking about teachers that be hating hard. Knowing you got admin that's by the book and they want to be so, they want to dictate so much, they don't want to make it seem like nothing's wrong with their campus. They got somebody on their campus
Yeah.
speaking that truth. So what got you into like go back to your first video you thought about putting out. Now you just said about the Newport news and everything. Like, is that what got you in, or was you already making videos about teaching before that? Like, what got you started, and why do you make the videos that you
So
make?
So I was only doing. I also do Miss Holloway's Slay today. So I talk about my earrings, my clothes, my shoes, how much it costs. So teachers, because teacher dress code be real. I just rolled out of bed and got here this morning. Okay,
So,
so I was like, let me do a Slay today. Tell them you can look good for cheap. So that was doing okay. And then TikTok had because at first I was only on TikTok. TikTok had what was it they were doing? Black teacher follow challenge. And
okay.
I just went on like a rant, like I don't want to be a part of the challenge because teaching ain't giving what it's supposed to give, whatever. And that took off. Then I did the one about Abby Zorner, and that really like just that
About who?
Abby Zorner, she's the one
Oh,
who the
I
second
got you. Yeah,
so
yeah.
that went viral. And then I basically just talked about everything the teachers complain about while we in PD and we whispering, passing notes in the teacher's lounge. When we go after school, we go to our teacher bestie classroom and everybody come in there venting and they talking about. I just got tired of like talking about it amongst ourselves because I was like, nothing's going to change. Teachers are
Mhm.
going to keep leaving. Kids are going to get worse.
Yep.
It's falling apart and it's going to affect society. So I was like, okay, let me just start with everything teachers complain about in the teachers lounge. And that's what I did. And it just kept going. I talked about how they always say teachers are heroes. Like, we're not heroes. Like we listen. Okay, call me what you. We not heroes. Okay, I'm a
Mhm.
teacher. Honestly, my job should only be able to teach. You calling me a hero because I'm
Right.
doing everything outside of my job description. So
Right.
it just kept going and going. I talked about attendance. I talked about how everybody wants to blame COVID, but I feel like it was already bad. COVID just exposed it. Because now parents,
Mhm.
kids were at
I
home
said
and
I
parents
said the
were
same thing.
seeing like, oh, Johnny can't read.
Boy,
He's
can't
about to graduate, can't read. So I felt like kids were at home and parents were like, hold up, your
read.
report card don't match. Even down to them not even wanting us to print paper. They want to be in control of how much paper we're using. So I just felt like people, and what's crazy is you'd be surprised how many parents, or even I graduated high school in '06. Just my friends be like, it has changed so much. Like I say, even the dress code is just, everything is just outrageous. So honestly, I just decided to talk about everything we were scared to talk about. And what's crazy, Eddie, is I wasn't pinpointing my district. I was just talking about in general. I had
In
no idea
general.
it's all over the country.
Mhm.
And so after I started, then I
Mhm.
found you and I was like, okay, we do the same thing. You are 100. It's so funny because it's spot on everything you said. When you talked about the teacher, the AP that got her eye hit, you were
Mhm.
like,
We gonna touch on that too.
okay,
Talk
okay.
about that. Yeah. Yeah. I
But
got you
yeah,
though.
I just got tired of like, I feel like if we can't change if we all scared to talk about it.
Everybody can't be scared.
Somebody gotta take a hit so
Mhm.
that we can progress. That's how I looked at it. So
Mm, for sure. So you saw purpose in it and you stuck with that purpose and then it became like a little it was already a passion, but you got a
yeah,
way to express it to get it out to everybody. And that feedback that you got, I know that was love because
crazy.
you was getting in your comments was talk that talk, tell them,
Hmm.
or they'll be like, and then they talk about what they're personal, and you'll see everybody's going through the same thing. It's not just you. I thought I was the only teacher that went
Yeah,
through this type of stuff because of the people I work with
right,
some butt kissing peons, man. No lie. And that's a culture shock, a teacher culture shock to
right,
somebody who's new in the game. I came into a school that didn't have the best leadership, that didn't have teachers who would support you. So I was thrown into, some water and I had to, start kicking on my own until I figured it out. But I tell people all the time, you will figure it out.
yeah.
Eventually, you stick with it, you will figure. Long as you stay sane and don't choke nobody on your way to figuring it out, you gonna figure it out, man.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I tell a lot of teachers like you struggle because especially first year teachers. I always tell them like stop listening to the people who haven't been in the classroom the last 10 years. First of all,
Mm.
okay, that's stuff they telling you. All that flexible seating, the lights off, the music. I'm straight old school. We gonna sit in rows. You gonna show up
Uh-huh.
on time. And if you're not on time, you're gonna go get a pass. You're not gonna curse in here. I wish you would go to your cell phone while you're teaching, because obviously you don't need what I'm giving you, so somebody else in here gonna teach it. Like I don't know why we changed what was working. I
Right.
talked to an AP the other day and she said, well, the kids changed. I said, yeah, they got rougher and we got softer. It don't make it
Mhm.
make sense. They run
Leadership.
the school.
Yeah, well, that came from up top though. Yeah, teachers' hands are tied right now. Oh, teachers' hands
Yeah.
been tied. Now they just doubling up on the and the kids know that. They you ever had a kid tell you what you can't do? You
Yes.
can't do that. They know the rules better. Come on, man. They know that, man. And they know they're not
Yeah.
gonna fail. Know they're not gonna get in trouble. They're gonna go to the office for 30, 3, 4 minutes to kick their feet up, come back with super snacks, and they don't share. You know what I'm saying? I tell a joke, I tell people, I used to say on stage, I say, look, I stopped sending kids to the office to get in trouble. I start sending kids to the office just to bring me back
Bring
Just a bring back snack, man, because they gonna come back with something. They
they
beg to
coming
go to
back.
the office. The office used to be a scary place to go. You
What?
remember that? Hey, I tell people right now, we grown teachers.
Hmm.
Let somebody on the loudspeaker call a teacher into the office right now. You scared as hell.
I'm doing a
You don't
video
know what
about
to
that this
do.
week.
Huh?
I'm doing a video about that this week.
Hear that. kill that because we're scared as hell. We
Yes.
that's how things have changed.
Mhm.
What's going on now? Now before we get carried away, while we on
But
this
wait, don't let them schedule the
uh,
meeting. Don't let them schedule the meeting on a Monday and it ain't till Wednesday. You got anxiety for 3 days.
I used to they'll call you out your class. I say, look here, if they call you out your class, first of all, they call you, the kids gonna be like,
Yes.
ooh. And then the second thing you gotta watch out for, if they don't send nobody to watch your class,
Yeah.
that
You
mean
done.
I say that's equivalent to the second police car pulling up. You ain't going back where you thought you was.
Nope.
Yeah, you in
You going
trouble.
home.
Yeah, you in trouble. And they make a spectacle. If they gotta send a teacher home, they call a local news. They call officers to escort you off, and all you did was you didn't turn something in. I'm telling you, man. But the kid can do something crazy, and they don't even say the kid's name on the news because
No.
he's too young. Teacher, they say they first, middle, last name, what it was Thursday, their favorite drink, and I think she likes
Everything.
vodka. They don't put the school picture up.
Nope.
They put a kid picture. Okay, say if it's a kid, get we're gonna get to that. Let the
Okay.
career carry away. I'm sorry, I stay on task. While we're on this topic of you choosing, or it chose you to come out and start making videos about the truth about what educators go through, that hard truth that we can't talk about, teachers cannot talk about, in fear of retaliation, blackballing, for lack of better terms, but just strategically moving you out the district and trying
Right.
to find people which are not any at all. You know what I'm saying? They pulling people off the street, Home Depot. They pulling people from other this. We'll give you anything, just come and they don't. Man, look at that. This year, watch this year. Watch this year, man, because they're desperate to get teachers and crazy stuff about to happen because they not trained. They don't know what they coming into. They coming in for some money, and they gonna find out two things: the money ain't what you thought it was, and you're gonna have to deal with something that's gonna make you think about life. Man, when
Let
you
me
get there
tell
with all them kids
you.
and lock that door, let me tell you something. Yeah, you in the jungle.
Yeah,
You in the
straight
jungle.
up in the jungle.
Out the jungle, you do have educators like you and me who will say something. Right now, I didn't know what was going on, right? Because I'll be so busy with everything I got going on, fighting, in the fight, trying to do what I can for educators. And I go back on social media and I see you. Recently, you just, use your platform to your followers you was explaining how you had received retaliation finally from I guarantee it probably came down from the district or somebody up top, and it bled to your school. But recently you just, had to go through some retaliation for telling the truth and putting your videos out and the consequences, you were explaining the consequences. You care to share what happened, how it happened, and you can be as general as you want to. I know you still got stuff pending, so you don't have to be real specific if, I don't want them to keep you
Right.
from, you know,
Handle my business.
continuing. Right, right. So just say what you can say, and we'll leave it at that and move on.
So I worked in 2022, 23. I worked in Newport News.
Okay.
And they just came out, the principal was like, just make sure it's after 2:30. If it's after contract hours, there's nothing I can do. So I made
Come
a
on,
video.
you shooting. You
Yep,
shooting.
in the
Content.
classroom. And
Okay.
I had at the time, I was a floater because I was the last man in and we didn't have enough room. So I floated around all day. So whatever classroom I ended the day in, that's where I made the video. So it wasn't a big deal. I didn't have no meetings. She just said, your last video, the clock was in there. It was 2:15. Make sure it's after 2:30. Cool. Everything went fine. I went over to Hampton City Schools this past school year, and immediately from day one, which was crazy because we had, you know how they bring in the new everybody that they hire that's new in the district comes to this one spot. That's what they do here. We have a gathering, and when I stood up to speak, the room erupted because people were like, "Oh my God, that's talking to you." HR was in there, so I didn't understand, if it was going to be an issue, it should have been an issue that day before we even started school. Because y'all, at that point, now y'all know who I am and what I do. So, I want to say one of the APs pulled me aside. He was like, just be mindful if you're making videos in your classroom. This is at Hampton now. So I'm like, okay. And people had already told me, like, Hampton think they bougie. That's not going to fly, okay?
Is it a public school district, though?
Yep, still public school.
Okay.
Because you better than the next district. So now you think you know what I'm saying? But nobody's hitting on anything, if you want to be honest. So they were like, the AP said, just be mindful making videos in your classroom. But I kept doing it. And then I got a meeting on the calendar. It was like new teacher check-in. So I was like, okay, let me just go. They checking on me. But I asked another teacher who's new. I said, do you have a meeting? She said no. So I already knew what it was going to be about. I get in there and my principal was like, well, how about you make solutions instead of talking about the problems? I said, well, you got the seat at the table. I don't. So I'm bringing you the problem. Now you know it's a problem because y'all act like y'all didn't know this is how we felt. This is how how kids act. So now I'm telling you, you find a solution. So that meeting ended. He still was trying to get me to, change what I do. And I told him straight up, like, if I have to make a choice, I'm going to choose content. So he was like, okay. Then the next day he got announcements and he always gives a quote. But this day he said, are you a part of the problem or part of the solution? So I said, okay, I see weak here.
I said, he shoots slugs.
Yes, I said, you don't want to play with me. So the next day, I'm not gonna lie, I went home.
Yeah.
I remember we had a meeting, a content meeting. One of my APs that's over English, she was like, we want 95% pass rate on district tests. And I said, whoa. And I was the only one in the meeting. I said, who came up with that number? Because you're talking about kids who read 3-4 years below grade level.
Yeah, you ain't giving me nothing to work with.
At this point, I'm gonna have to give, if it's 7 questions, I'm gonna have to give 4 the answers and tell them wing the rest because 95% pass rate is just ridiculous. But because you're not in the classroom,
set up.
You get what I'm saying? So I said, okay. So I went home and I made a video. I did say, I'm so sick of people trying to tell me how to do my job that can't do their job. So I got another.
Whoa! So you put out a video, you shot, you returned fire.
Yeah, because So they called it. I didn't think they were. Called another meeting. It was like, well, how do you feel about us? Is this video about us? Of course, I said, oh no. A lot of teachers feel like they work for people who aren't as good as. I could be a better AP than you. Let's just call it spade a spade. So I think I had 4 or 5 meetings, all about videos. Yes.
Wait. What, I'm sorry. What was the span? Is this like within a few days? Or
I had 2 in September, maybe 2 weeks apart. I probably had one around Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And then my student, I taught 2 12th grade classes. And one class is so crazy, like we click like family, right? And even my kids were like, yo, Miss Holloway, everything you said is spot on. Because in here, you a good kid. I don't know what kind of kid you are outside of 137, but don't play with me. Okay, play with them other teachers, don't play with me. So they were like, everything you said. Teachers were coming up to me. I had friends calling me. I used to live in Florida. Like, everybody was like, keep going, keep going. So in January, my student got murdered. He was on the football team. He was a good kid. And I just didn't like the way my principal handled it. He didn't do a town hall meeting with the seniors. He came and told me at school that it happened. And this particular kid I was very close with. So I was like, I fell to my knees. He walked out the classroom and left me there. Of 5 APs, only 1 consoled me. At graduation, there were teachers who still didn't even know because their parents came and got their diplomas. So people were like, why are these adults up here? And I was like, y'all didn't know I lost 2 kids? So I didn't like he handled that. He was like, we wanted to do a candlelight. His mom came down. He was like, he didn't die here. Y'all can have it here. It was just bad. Yeah. It was. He didn't even send a letter home to my students' parents or anything. Fast forward to March, one of my students commit suicide out of the same class. Yes, both seniors, the girl. He didn't send a letter. Yeah. He didn't send a letter home. He didn't come speak to the kids. I used PTO to go talk to the grief counselor. They made me, while I was talking to the grief counselor, I went back and got an email saying you need to use PTO. it was just how he handled that, everything. So after that, everything was, I could tell, like, I was walking on eggshells. My principal was walking on eggshells. My AP teachers would come to me and say, like, they would tell them, like, well, I'm not changing grades. And they would go, oh, y'all been listening too much talking to you. Too much of that is going around the building now. So it was just like little things along the way. I was uncomfortable. At first, I was making videos freely. I got to a point last year where I was like, maybe I shouldn't say this. I'm gonna delete that. I would post it, then delete it. And I was like, no. I'm not about to do that because at this point, I'm making money on Facebook the same amount I'm making in this paycheck. So, so it just, I never thought my wildest dreams, but I always spoke up for people. So I knew my voice was gonna be heard. I just didn't know this fast, this quick, all over the world. Literally, I hear from people from other countries saying they dealing with the same things. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's bigger than us, man. And I'm pretty sure when you saw that the people from other countries, where you like, dang, this
Yeah.
is really real, just in a different language and a different culture. Same bull that teachers got to go through. I ain't just this big activist either. I'm
Right.
just an educator who went through all this stuff and was wondering what the hell is this about. Put a video out and come to find out now you see other teachers that were quiet at first. Now they can say something through
Yes,
you, even
exactly.
if it's through a comment. They don't got to walk on eggshells all the time. So you kind of faded that heat now. But
Yeah.
like I say, thank God for. Be thankful for getting paid for your content on social media, and I'm pretty sure you want to keep driving that, keep putting
Right.
vids out, drop them on Facebook, YouTube, wherever pay the most. That's where you go. You know what I'm
So let
saying?
me say, I forgot to tell you this. So what happened was they never really said I was blackballed. They called me and they were like, "You're going to teach ninth grade instead of 12th grade." I said, "Okay." They called me back and was like, "Oh, well, we found somebody for ninth grade." So I was like, "Okay, cool." So I interviewed at another school in the district. We shook on it. I thought I had the job. I let follow. I'm like, "Cool." I emailed the principal to follow up. He responded. He was like, "I'll let you know on Monday." I emailed once Monday passed. I have not heard from him since. So then AP I know from Newport News called me and basically let me know, like, they not messing with you. I wanted to let you know because I know you. I'm gonna tell you what it is. You're gonna have to make a choice. And they said when I got personal about my experience is where they felt the way. But I was like, you felt the way already. But
Because
when I
you
made it
know the
personal,
problem.
you were able to be like, okay, now we can get her.
Yeah.
Now we got her.
hmm
Mhm.
Boy, that dirty, man. That dirty. They had
And
that set up all the time, but they let you start the year this year, right?
so so it's so crazy. They
Uh-huh.
did let me start, but
Uh-huh.
they
But you had a
yes,
position
my paperwork
filled
had
up.
been turned into HR. I had done back
Yeah,
fingerprints. Yeah.
man.
hmm Yeah.
And just they say, oh, our bad. We made a clerical error.
hmm They
So what was
messed up
that?
my summer pay, uh,
Oh,
my direct deposit. Yes, it was crazy. And I was like, maybe I'm tripping. But now in hindsight, when I think back to little things that happened along the way, like over the summer, I was doing summer school, but my email got locked out. So when I went to the IT guy, I was like, I can't get in my computer. He was like, that's an HR issue. But at the time, I was like, okay, maybe because I don't have a school yet. But now I
mm-hmm.
know, you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Had I been antennas, I would have
yeah,
known what was coming.
yeah. It was all y'all issue. All y'all. He got the word to
Mhm.
not
Yep.
to. Yeah, he knew what was up as an
Yep.
HR issue. When the last time you went to HR to help you with a glitch on your computer? Man, boy,
Exactly.
who you talking to, fool?
Exactly.
They think you stupid, man. I don't
HR can't
understand.
even fix their
Eh,
own computers. Like,
Boy, stop it. They do
crazy.
this. They do this stuff to you, and then um, it'll get out because we'll say it. That's what they scared of. You gonna say it. But they gonna shoot the narrative. Oh, troublemaker, and just don't want to follow the rule. But shit, you say you had good scores.
I,
You can't
awesome
fight that.
teacher. You
You
can't.
can't fight that.
And that's what the AP said when she called me. She said, as far as you being a teacher, they was like, can't, I hold it down. But,
Yeah,
I guess, I don't know. They really, it's crazy now because I'm looking like
yeah,
they really want us to just shut up and put up.
Yeah, and you don't look like you don't have good classroom
Yeah,
management.
I don't play with
I
people.
tell people all the time, teachers all the time, classroom management is something can't be taught to you. That come from your diaphragm. That come from your chest. That come from you, just being an adult to be like, hey man, you a kid, boy.
You a
You do
kid.
not talk to me like that. You got me, messed up for the sake of. And some people just so scared by the book and no, they reasoning with these kids and they no, make it like
Sure.
I'm gonna give you an opportunity to make a good choice, make a
No,
good
I'm gonna tell
decision
you
here.
what the good choice
Got a
is.
pair of scissors in his hand. What decision you think he gonna make? Hey, and watch this here. He's trying to hit a little girl. I saw this, and the little girl actually hit him to get the scissors off her. The lady say, "Hey, whatever her name was, for the sake of say Megan. Hey, Megan, that was not a good decision."
What about this?
Nigga stabbed. Boy, they got it twisted, man. I'm listening to you.
Man, I'm telling you, they really a lot of it too. Because I work in a lot of urban areas. I couldn't
Mhm.
work at
Fluids.
another type of school, okay? Because I would be too mean. Them parents would go, "Oh no, she can't talk to my kid like that." So
Mhm.
I feel like a lot of teachers. Teach for America just was not a good thing. They took people from Wisconsin and put them in Chicago. What the?
What- I take it that you didn't come teach for America.
No.
I'm gonna do a disclaimer right now. All my teach for Americans.
I'm sorry.
But I tell y'all right now, I have nothing against y'all.
Nothing against y'all, but
Please understand what you're getting into when you do
okay.
your 2-year payback and you
Mhm.
coming into situation and do your research. Cause man, a lot of them I've known, they do not last. They do them little 2 and they go to law school, be police
Mhm.
officers, they do anything but teach, man, because they get dropped off in a situation that they weren't prepared for. And that's teach for America's fault.
Because
You should have prepared them.
you working with kids you're scared of. I see a lot of that. So kids will be like, Miss So and so cool. I said, why? Because she lets you do what you want to do. Don't have no rules. Don't let
Mm,
you can wear your hood. You can be on your phone. I said, she don't care about you. She doing
mm,
what she got to do so she can survive. When you come in
mm,
here, I'm teaching you. I'm preparing you for life. You cannot wear a hood in here because in the street, when you got that hood on, you look that totally different. So you're gonna take it
yeah.
off in my class. You're gonna get used to it. So
Mm,
it's a lot of that too. And with teachers, they get so mad when I talk about teachers though. Like when I say y'all need to dress better or everybody's not a teacher. Because people, a lot of comments I get are like, they need classroom management help. And I'm like, what do you mean? They be like, so I get hit all the time. By who? A kid? No. My kids, I tell them the first day you hit me, I'm gonna hit you back. Straight up. I'm not
Speaking
that
of
teacher.
speaking of hit,
Yes.
thank God I ain't never got swung on. Teachers. But this is the thing: you ain't gotta be no uptight,
No.
built to your belly button type of teacher. You can have a little swag and a little edge about yourself. Don't let them knock the swag out you. You
Right.
can still be that. And the kids love that. They love that. You still got a little edge about you. They love that. It's them by the book square. I don't understand what's going. Yeah, you tripping. You need to go take a shot of vodka or something and come back.
Right.
No, real spill.
Our
Drink.
teachers used to back in my day would be in their desk drawer. I'm just saying.
Hey, hey, you let me get to school and watch how great my campus be. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm a teacher's appreciation every day of the
I
week.
know that's right.
Yeah, my teachers pop their trunk and put their favorite little libation in there and close it and see that they gonna be writing me love letters. Yeah, they gonna yeah. Now, speaking of getting physical, that's something common now. Like it's common for a kid to fight an adult for something that the kid did wrong and they got reprimanded for, or the adult said something, or maybe took a cell phone, or maybe grabbed something that they had in their possession that they weren't supposed to have during class anyway. Well, recently, be it being at a alternative school in Corsicana, Texas, there was a system principal who apparently was intervening in the classroom and something was already going on. This is a few days ago, right? And
Yeah.
she goes in, and the little boy, I guess some other boy was hurt, but this boy was on 10, 12, 11. But it was just her, I guess, and the teacher, I guess, at first. And the little boy threw a chair. She said she caught the chair.
Yeah, I was like, ooh,
Hey,
cold.
say the adventures of stupid men. Hey, she caught the chair. The boy saw the catch and grabbed another chair. Don't worry about what happened. And threw the chair. A second chair. She say just casually, I used the first chair to block the second chair. I say that first chair is pretty much a hero. You feel what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Now by that time, another AP came in. He grabbed a third chair to throw at the new person who came in. So this AP went over and blocked that one too. I say she's just a
Yeah,
superhero then.
she about that.
Yeah, but she left herself wide open for the fourth strike. That boy had one more. He had a contingency plan. That boy went, and they say he grabbed a wooden hanger and threw it. And she said the way he threw it or whatever, how fast he threw it, she didn't have time to react. First, why in the hell is there a wooden hanger in any classroom, let alone an alternative school classroom? You're not supposed to have nothing they can grab and throw other than desk and something like that, but that's stupid too. How you feel about that? Oh, my bad. The kicker is it hit her eye and knocked the eyeball out the socket. This ain't no bus. This ain't no regular ride to the hospital. She had to get life flight, right?
Yeah.
They took her in a helicopter to the hospital where she said the doctors were able to reattach it.
Yeah.
But more than likely, she's gonna lose her eyesight in that eye. And she had a press conference about it and whatever. And she was talking about, the government, I mean, the senator needs to change in Texas, change the rules and laws with education. And, thank you for saying something, but good luck with that, man. But at least she's saying something and she has results. So,
Right.
I mean, if that was you put yourself in her shoes, would you have done anything different than what she would have did, than what she did when she went in that classroom?
Oof. First of all, I'm like, this is alternative school. Where is the police and the security?
Yeah, let's see. Where
I'm
they at?
like,
I
okay,
put it.
I'm confused.
Yeah, I said the security guard was probably in the teacher's lounge warming up noodles. They never do what
That
they
was
supposed to do. Some of them ain't got no business. All that ruckus. He had time to throw three things, and this ain't nothing you can. This wasn't no paper. He had to pick this up and throw that, and then he threw a fourth one, and another AP came in. Like, where is? If you don't have nothing in the alternative school, you supposed to have heavy security.
and takedown
Period.
methods. I forgot what it's called. I worked at a private day school. I'm not gonna lie to you. I stayed there a good 3 months because I had never seen kids like this in my life. But they were able to take those kids down to the floor. They had different rules because these were different kids. So at first I was okay, this got to be just a regular public school and people weren't where they were supposed to be. But then when the AP came out and said it was alternative, I'm like, okay, where's the police? Where's the security? I don't know because
Basically, where's the help?
you,
Somebody help us, please.
like, where's the help? I don't know what I would have done as the teacher. First of all, I don't even know how I got that far. I don't even know how to say what I would have done because I've never been in a situation that has gone that far.
Yeah, I got you. I got
you know what I mean? Throw chairs in other classrooms, but like I said, security jumped all over them. You know what I mean? So I don't. It's weird. I don't know.
Yeah, the climate, it just speaks to the climate of education right
I
now.
probably would have walked out.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, because what you gonna do?
Like this is out of my pay grade, baby.
Right, do you know? Yeah, but I hear it a lot. But I was I talk all that noise, but I'm finna go break up a fight because I've been going through so much stuff this year. I'm gonna take it out on somebody, and I'm gonna take it out on two little kids who think they can fight. I'm gonna handle them. I tell man, I
broke up a fight once. Because I tell my kids, I say, you get to fighting in here, because they always like, what you gonna do if you get to fighting? I said, somebody gonna take an L. You just gonna be the person who got beat up in this Holloway class all year. Because I'm not, now these kids be thumping, okay?
Oh yeah, and
So,
you was in high school.
yeah, so I
You get
broke
out of there.
up a ninth grade girls, and let me tell you,
The
I had to go
girls.
get X-rays on my back. They busted blood. They were, the boys. And what's crazy is, we called security because I had a co-teacher, and the rule was when kids get to fighting, you're supposed to remove everybody else and let them fight. But my other student was a thumper. Like,
One of them things.
these the other girl didn't know what she was signing up for. And I had already told them to sit down. But I knew that if I left them in the room, the kid that was a thumper was gonna handle her business, because she only come to school once every 3 months. Okay, she in the streets heavy. So like, okay, she just here so her mama don't go to jail, baby. Like, this is a different kind of student. Your mama show up every time something happens. So I broke it up, but it was like 3 of them on me. I called security. Well, my co-teacher did. She left the room scared, called security. And I know it took them too long. Like, how like you're going through something, you're like, it had to be 30 minutes, but it really was only 3. But it took them too long for us to have called security. Okay.
Yeah.
Because the boys in my class broke it up. By the time security got there, the boys had already pulled the girls off me, and so it's just like, I don't know. That's why I don't get involved. You throw one chair, I'm gonna grab I got to come get him.
How do you grab a chair? She grabbed she cold blooded. She was strong, man. She looked like she was strong.
Nah, she looked like she bought her business.
When I taught her,
lock the chair, I said, "Oh, baby, you should be in the Matrix."
When as soon as she said she caught the chair, I'm like, hey, what happened? How did that happen? You know what I'm saying?
I was thinking, like, is this the desk connected with the chair, or is this just
couldn't have been?
Couldn't have been.
Yeah, it couldn't have been. It couldn't have been the whole a chair desk.
Yeah, because
a desk. It couldn't have been that. It couldn't. Yeah, it probably was a chair, but dang, but then they won't hit her.
But this is what I said when I made the video. The one thing that stood out to me, no matter what happens, they always say the safety of our faculty and staff and students is our highest priority. But it's not. They only prioritize safety when something happens that's unsafe. They're reactive, not proactive. You know what I mean? So
every time.
Like, it's just crazy because I don't know. I probably would have walked out. I'm gonna be honest. You throw that first chair, I tell them that
I'd rather you walked out.
To come with me.
Yeah.
Lock the door and leave him in there by himself. Figure it out.
Yeah. Hey, tear it up. It's the school stuff. Tear it up.
Exactly.
Yeah. They walk out. But now, man, she says she believing in God. No, I get that. You got to. I understand that. I'm strong. I try. I fall short.
Yeah, I fall short too.
Jesus, real. But she said she's basically, the doctors was like, you're gonna lose his eye. And say she's gonna pray that, she's believing in a miracle. And on my video, I was like, do that first. Pray and believe in the miracle, but use them same hands.
Yeah.
To dial dial a number of a capable lawyer. You know what I'm saying? Because HIPAA was talking about how that something was wrong with all that. So she definitely has some feet on this, no matter what her position was, no matter what school she worked at, because she needed to have some help.
I think her GoFundMe was at, like, when I checked yesterday, I think she was at like 70, 80K.
Dang, boys, busting on GoFundMe.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I mean, but you don't want to have nothing like that happen to you to do that, though.
But I'm telling you, these kids, what's crazy is they always say kids have a teacher they respect that can calm them down. So like, maybe it just happened so fast they weren't able to. Maybe, I don't know, but that, like you said, 3 chairs and a hanger, and I need to know
nobody.
What it was.
That was noise. That's a lot of noise.
That's a lot of noise.
The security guard had to be somewhere to not even hear noise. He was gone.
Probably down the hall talking to girls, but I'm up.
Leave that alone. We gotta try to get you back in the system, man.
That's not my ministry.
it's been like I said before, there a lot of stuff happening to teachers now, and it's not because of admin. Like some stuff can be handled, as they say, in house,
Right.
and like um, there's there's no family unit within teachers. There's no more codes in teaching. Like the ones who have codes, we click up with the other ones who understand code. But it's so crazy now that the code is so far removed, and it's been replaced with brown nosing and that crab mentality, and that crab in the bucket mentality. That don't work at all. I tell the people who do that, I mean, you trying to buddy up to the principal. The principal don't even like you. You know what I'm saying? I.e., the stories about all the educators getting in trouble for drinking, being found drunk on campus, tipsy or high,
Right.
or being did something, and no one knows except for another teacher told on 'em.
Right.
Like one teacher
Right.
went in that lady's purse and grabbed as evidence. You went in her purse and grabbed the evidence and took it. You
That's
know,
crazy.
a AP dropped the 8 ball of cocaine. Now I don't know nothing about none of that, but somebody grabbed it, picked it up, went and go told. Look, I'd have stepped on it. I'd have stepped on it and been like, and put it in. No, real spill. This just because I know where we work at.
Right.
Apparently, that's what you need to survive here.
Yeah.
It's a reason why you got that. Matter of fact, we'd probably be in better shape because you own that. Because if
Yeah.
it wasn't, you would click, trip, and hurt somebody, baby, somebody's feelings, somebody's face, And I gave it to her later, like, hey, keep it under wraps.
Yeah.
No more observations for me for the rest of the year. Yeah. It's equal opportunity right here, baby. I just say, yeah, save mine too. Like,
Yeah, no,
but
seriously.
the camaraderie amongst teachers is gone. Can
It's
you
gone.
kind of chime in on why teachers are getting in trouble, and it's because of other teachers telling on them? Like, what do you think that's about?
Because I think everybody just scared. Everybody wants to be, because now it's a competition. When you go into
Mm,
like the English department meeting, they pulling up Miss Holloway data, Mr. Brown data, Mr. Jackson data, Miss Smith data. Okay, this teacher did the best in this area. Miss so and
mm,
so, you need to work on your data. This kid comes to my class to behave, but goes to your class and cut up. This
mm,
kid skips your class. It's a competition now. Who's the best teacher? Who has the best data? Whose kids are passing? Who has the best grades? And who has the best? It's just a competition. I feel like
yeah,
it's not about kids anymore. It's not, and that's crazy because we in the business of kids. We not about kids. It's about everybody looking good but not really being good.
yeah.
What's my graduation rate? Even though you had 300 kids graduate,
Mm,
225 of them have passed no SOLs, don't have enough credits, but you're gonna let them walk, but come back in the summertime and try to force them to finish, but they 18, you know they're not coming back anyway. I
And
just think
college is out the question.
it's
Yeah,
good luck to the colleges, to the kids we sending y'all. That's all I got to say. And
yeah,
it's still some good ones. And
yeah.
I said I was gonna make a video this week, but like we tell the kids, one bad apple spoils the bunch. Like,
It do.
and it's crazy because the good kids get overlooked because all we're
Mhm,
concerned about are the kids who not reading on grade level, not functioning in math, not functioning in science, not passing state tests. Like the good kids, pretty soon it's gonna be all the good kids go to these schools, and all your kids that want to wreak havoc go over here. It's by design, all from the government, because government kids go to private schools. They not
You know what it is.
these public schools.
But make all the decisions for public school, and
Exactly.
they ain't never drove past one a day in their life. Their kids will never go to one. They don't even know what's going on
Mhm.
inside public schools, but they make all the decisions, and they don't bring no teacher in for no input. That's all you gotta do. Bring somebody in who taught for input. Who
That's
taught and they
it.
forgot how it is, and some of them teach and forget how it is. Being in the classroom, and they think that breeding competition type of thing. They feel like they better because they academic coaches now. They done moved up, and
Right.
they don't give back. They don't help another teacher out. They'll go a step further and start treating them like they not, you're not doing what you need to do. Like, you don't remember you was a teacher and you wasn't all that good. You
Right.
gotta
Now
like
you're
some
a coach. I remember you did a video. I was like, oh, this is spot on. You were like, you weren't even a good teacher. Now you're a coach, but they recycle trash. That's what I call it.
you silly.
Teachers do something or admin will do something, and they'll see you to work on it at the district office instead of
You know what
firing
it
you.
is.
When you should have been fired. This is a fireable offense, but now you over here about to coach me. Like,
Straight up fireable offense.
mm-hmm.
I gotta ask you this. If just saying, like, you can blink it, you can twiddle your nose, and you had the power to change like anything about the teacher profession. Like, if you had the power to do that, like, what would you change about it? If it was just you didn't have to answer to nobody, the decision was just yours. What would you change about the teaching profession?
Give teachers back their power. Allow
Okay.
teachers to fail kids. Allow teachers to say, no, I'm not taking work from August and it's December. Allow, just give teachers input. The reason why we in this, why do you think the doctor comes in to give the final word? Because he's the expert. Okay, so just give us back our power. Give us a little bit of say. You paying us pennies on the dollar, and you want us to shut up. Just show up and shut up. So I really think, and we always talk about pay, but pay is like small. We knew teachers.
We know that.
We knew we were gonna be broke. Okay, we did it for the love of the kids.
Mm-hmm.
But it's everything else. You want to pay me scraps, and you want to silence me, and you want to. I can't give deadlines on work. I can't give anything lower than a 50. We got to be, I don't know, we just got to give teachers back their power. We've taken all of teachers' power. They don't even want you to, what do they call it? Embarrassing a kid. Like, don't single them out. Don't call them out. What? He over here vaping in class, but you want me to give a general vape statement. Please no vaping. No, Bobby, come here. Because I told you 3 times not to vape up here. Get out. They don't, all of that is just, I don't know what's going to fix it. Because they don't want to recognize the problem. But if I could fix anything, I would say giving back teachers their power and disciplining kids. Because look at society. Look at where we're going. It's because kids are entitled. And they don't have a reality of what's really going to happen if they do this stuff in the street. You think he would have threw a chair at a police officer? He wouldn't have 3 times to throw nothing at a police officer. So we just got to mimic real life. We got to get back to the basics.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait for you to open your school.
Right.
Let me know, Sada. I get back in there. We can go ahead and handle it.
Everybody say that.
Yeah, already. I'm telling you, man. We talk this talk, man. Like, it's that real. It's real, and I've seen other educators or teachers or people who talk about education. They dance around what really go on, and they really scared too. So they'll talk about molding kids and how they would handle teaching showing a parent how it is that stuff, that boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That real, but when we talk this real, every year we get a new crop of teachers that come into the profession, right? Green, happy-go-lucky. What they remember about teaching is when they were in school and don't even know that, you know what I'm saying? They probably had a good, like, if you had a new teacher to come to you, like, and you could give that teacher some advice about, like, what they getting into, but try not to scare them, not to get into it, but let them know. You know what I'm saying? Like, be real. If you could be real all the way around with a new teacher coming into the profession, what would you tell them, like, in order to have longevity in the profession and not get that 1-2 year burnout and leave? What kind of advice would you give to them?
It's simple. You got to do you and do what's best for your kids. Like, new teachers listen to what people who have not taught in 10 years tell them. But you got to do when you close that door, it's you and those kids. That's it. You rarely gonna get help. So you have to do what's best for you, build those relationships. If it don't make sense, I'm not doing it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not teaching Shakespeare when I know you don't need it. So this next 2 weeks, we're gonna do I-9s, W-4s. We about to get busy. We're gonna look at taxes and job applications. But I would tell a new teacher, like, do what's best for you and your kids. Do what you have to do to survive every day. A lot of that stuff they tell you is fluff because they want to coddle kids. Okay. But kids respect people who give them expectations, who stand on business, and who know you care about them outside the classroom. Really, that's all it takes. It's crazy because it's really about relationships, but it's not the kind of relationships admin tell you to build. You got to, like you said, you got to meet these kids where they are. You got to kind of be a little rough around the edges too. You know what I'm saying? You throw a pencil, I'm gonna flick one back across the classroom. Now, how you like that? You know? Yeah. So I was just telling a new teacher, like, you gotta find your way. Do not listen to these people because these people are not in tune with what we really dealing with.
That's some good advice.
Yeah,
that's some good advice. I some teachers don't have that. They get thrown to the fire, and it's a big old it's a culture shock to them. It's a professional culture shock, and they don't last at all. Especially our ones who come from teach TFA for sure.
Yeah.
And but they have great resources.
Yes,
they have some of the greatest ideas, great resources. So Teach for America, they prepare them to be a teacher. They just don't. They kind of slipping in the department of getting them ready with classroom management and the real experience of a public school where the kids ain't scoring high and they don't have, certain abilities and they lash out and they need somebody with edge. They need to have an edge one-on-one class for teachers. And we can go co-teach that thing. I chime in, you do something, pay us. They pay you. I'd get my money too. And we need that one. Eddie B and Talkin T.
Yes, we should.
Edge class for the new teachers.
We can do it and then just sell it to people. Watch it on the internet. Here goes 10 classes about how to have a little edge. Because my kids always say, like, you act like my mom. And I always knew that meant, like, okay, they know I'm a little gritty. And their mind, I got more power than the principal.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's the Titanic and it's sinking, but it ain't no lifeboats. So
ain't no lifeboats, boy. No rafts, no boats, no nothing. Ain't thinking. They just want you to go down with it.
Go down with the class.
yeah, but you stepped out there. You said no. So man, thank you so much for for chiming in and giving us some of your time, man, to be a part of the Teachers Only podcast. This is the first episode of the Teachers Only podcast with Eddie B, and I had to get you on first. It's just how it had to happen. If you have something, let me know. I shoot that right back at you. I got you, man. So just signing off. So right now you're not working in education because of what happened, but you plan to get back into it some kind of way. But until then, please tell the listeners and the followers how they can contact you first on your social media, and then you had to GoFundMe to kind of help you because you got responsibilities, bills, and kids. You know what I'm saying? And you still put out content that they feed off of. Maybe they can pay that forward. And patronize you on that. Yeah. So let them know how they can get a hold to you.
So I'm talking to you, TALKIN on all TIA on all platforms, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I'm coming out with shirts in the next 2 weeks. So look for that.
Where can they get them?
I'm gonna drop a link. I gotta make sure they look good first.
For sure.
Drop a link. So it's gonna all be on all my social media under my link tree. Yeah, pretty much. I'm gonna keep making content. I'm gonna got a podcast coming hopefully. So yeah, Talking to You on all platforms. I have to GoFundMe, and I think it's under Talking to You. You could just search it. It's like a teacher on a new journey. But yes, I'm not working in the classroom right now. But I just one door closed.
But you're working for education. But you still working. You in the fight.
I'm still trying to reform education.
Yeah. That kind of. Yeah, that it kind of pulls in support,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Because you're still supporting,
Yeah.
you know, without support. And so all that support, that'll pull that in for you, man. That warrants allegiance.
Right, right.
I salute to you for sticking in it and just doing what you believe in and holding on to it when others wouldn't. That's doing the same thing we doing. They wouldn't do that. They play it safe. Hey, big up to you for not playing it safe, man. You over here for real, for real. You know, I'd be there. You know, if I went out the game, they'd have pushed me out for
Yeah,
sure.
you were definitely handing out the door.
They wait, boy. They had me. They had me at the top of the list, bold print, italicized, Times New Roman, ADB. Get him out of here.
Because
Hey,
you do
man.
the same thing. You just funny. Yours
Yeah,
is
well,
but
geez, yeah,
we
yeah.
spot on.
Thank you. Same message, different
Yep.
type of delivery. We
Yep.
talk about the same stuff. For sure, for sure. So thank you so much for being on the show with me today, man. Thank you. I'm glad we could shoot the first episode.
Yes.
Talking Tia, man. Make sure y'all go support her. Talking Tia on all platforms. Go support her. Go fund me. You know, we're gonna pour back into her for pouring into teachers like she do. You know what I'm saying? She faded that heat for teachers. So it's only right that you go and help her out too. She can get back on her little teaching grind or whatever grind she want to do is going to stick. Man, you stay with it. Hey, Teachers on the Podcast, we're going to be shooting this thing like, you know, once or twice a month, feeding y'all different stuff. Make sure you chime in. This is a safe place for teachers who go through what we go through and really can't say what you want to say. You want to chime into this one right here, man. Tell a friend. Tell your educator partners, admin, y'all can listen too, man. I love y'all, man. Don't be one of them ones coming. I don't know what you're talking about. Look, I'm not against admin. I'm just pro teacher. And the admin who taught before, they know exactly what I'm talking about. They the best leaders anyway. Thank y'all so much. See y'all next time. It's been the Teachers Only Podcast for Eddie B. And my special guest, Talking Tia. We out of here, baby.